Hello, this is Dr. Salvatore Vinciguerra. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you about rests, quarter rests, half rests, and whole rests. In music, we have notation that indicates both sound and silence. And we have quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. And I explained to you in a previous video the duration of sound that these notes receive. So I'll be reviewing some of these notes and I'll be indicating the equivalent rest value. So the first one is a quarter note and it's equal to 1 beat of sound, while over to the right, that is a quarter rest and it is equivalent to 1 beat of silence. The next rest is a half rest, and you notice that it comes up from the third line. It gets 2 beats of silence, and next to it you see it's equal to a half note, which gets 2 beats of sound. Then we have the whole rest. Notice the difference between the whole rest and the half rest. The half rest comes up from the third line, but the whole rest comes down from the fourth line. The whole rest is equal to the whole note, which gets 4 beats of sound in 4/4 time. However, in different time signatures, the whole rest is used to fill up one measure of that particular time signature. And an example would be in 3/4 time, where this would fill in for that one measure. It would then be equal to 3 beats per measure. And so this particular rest changes depending upon the time signature that you're going to be using or is used to, compose that particular piece of music. Here's an example of these rests being used in 4/4 time, and I've put the counting underneath them. In 4/4 time, we have 4 beats per measure. That's what the top number tells us. The bottom number tells us what note gets the beat, which is the quarter note. It gets 1 beat of sound. So starting off this measure, we have a quarter note, gets 1 beat of sound, a quarter rest, 1 beat of silence, a quarter note, 1 beat of sound, a quarter rest, 1 beat of silence. You notice that I label the countings as they go across time, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And I put R's to indicate that these are rests and they are silent. So if I were to play the first measure, it would sound like this: rest, rest, or 1 rest, 3 rest. Here is the second measure, and there's a half note. Notice I have 1-2, there's a half rest, 3-4 to continue the beats to the end of the measure, and I'm labeling it R-R. So this measure would get 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last measure is a whole rest. It fills up the entire measure. So I would put 1-2-3-4 because that's the duration of silence. I have my R's with dashes underneath it, and I have a thin line and I have a thick line to indicate the end of that piece of music. Here's another example, but it's in 3/4 time. There are 3 beats in each measure, and the quarter note is going to get the beat because the bottom number is 4. This is a half note, which gets 2 beats, so I would put 1-2. The quarter rest would get beat 3, and it would get an R underneath it. It gets 1 beat of silence. In the second measure, I have a quarter note, that would get beat 1. Then I have a quarter rest, it would get beat 2 with an R. Then I have a beat of sound, this is the quarter note, and I would put a 3 underneath that. And then I have a bar line, and I have a whole rest in this measure. Notice that a whole note doesn't necessarily have to equal 4 beats all the time. In this case, if it's filling a measure of 3/4 time, it's equal to 3 beats in this measure. So I would put underneath it 1-2-3 and R-R-R. This is what this example would sound like in 3/4 time. 1, 2, rest. 1, rest. 3, rest. Rest, 2, 3. Thank you for watching this video on quarter rests, half rests, and whole rests. This is Dr. Salvatore Vinciguerra. Please watch out for more videos in this series of basic music notation. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and have a great day. Thank you.